So I'm gonna be talking through a bunch of this stuff for people who might not be quite as familiar with Magic Arena. I figure because there's some D&D aficionados who are lapsed Magic players or haven't done it or only done a little. Might want to see some of the cards and whatnot. And if you want anything explained, just tell me to explain something, speed up, whatever. I tend to play pretty fast, but see what I can do here. So I'm gonna fire up a sealed deck best of one thing, which means I'm gonna open 6 packs and build a deck. And best of one means that instead of playing best 2 out of 3 games against a few people, it's one win or one loss against a bunch of different people. So yeah, give it a shot and open our packs. It's going to show me what the rares from each pack are. Well, I got the Trask, or the Tarsk as we used to call it, who is big and stompy and pretty expensive, but pretty good. Asmodeus draws some cards. I've seen some stuff uh, done with him already when watching some of the other people play the set earlier today. Um, lets you draw cards in exchange for life, but if you can activate and draw a bunch of cards and sacrifice him before you need to get rid of those cards, it's a combo that lets you draw a bunch. And of course, who doesn't want Asmodeus the Archfiend on their side? He's been like the end boss of a bunch of my campaigns. We got the Vorpal Sword, which has this amazing ability that when you get to 8 mana, if it can connect with the other player, it just kills them because it cuts their head off. And, decent equipment in the meantime. Wild Mage, my favorite. Uh, just favorite class in general that makes temporary duplicates of the stuff that you're attacking with, and might be able to do that multiple times if you roll high enough. And Teleportation Circle will blink some stuff out and back in, so if you have anything that, says when it enters the battlefield, do a cool thing, this lets you repeat those a bunch. Wish is also kind of interesting in that from outside the game means in your sideboard, so any cards that I don't put in my deck, Wish can potentially get, but I don't know if that's worthwhile because you're kind of paying 3 mana and then you have to also cast it on the turn is how that one works. So let's see what else we got here beyond those rares. So there's a White Dragon, Planar Ally, not a lot of white here. Of course, one of the big things in the set is venturing into dungeons. So there'll be a bunch of cards that refer to that. Also, not a lot of cards in blue, but they're decent ones. Black had those 2 rares, so it's definitely where I'm going to be leaning. So let's see. Hired Hexblade is just a simple creature, but if you spend some treasure, you get some treasure and then use it to do that, it replaces itself with a card that's pretty good. Speaking of treasures, if this guy connects, then you get treasures. Lightfoot Rogue is difficult to block. Little halfling guy. Thieves' Tools mean a small creature can't be blocked, which could be a combo with Vorpal Sword, so I'm kind of liking that already. Precipitous Drop lets you do a little bit of dungeon venturing and becomes more powerful if you've completed a dungeon. Uh, so we'll consider that. Clattering Skeletons. Of course, when they die, you get to do some dungeoneering. Drider's pretty cool as well. When that connects with the player, you get to make more spiders. Zombie Ogre, I think, is also good. When things die on your turn, you get some free venturing. Got our Asmodeus. We got a few Beholders here. Not going to complain about having some Beholders. And then some Eyes of the Beholder, which is actually just kind of an expensive removal spell, but might still be worth it. So we got a barbarian class, which lets you roll more dice and attack, because barbarians. Dragon's Fire is good. Lets you kill something small, or if you have dragons to go with it, which, we saw some in some of the other colors, can potentially kill something bigger. There's that Wild Mage. A few other fine goblin cards and whatnot. Got our green. So Neverwinter Dryad gets a forest. Prosperous Innkeeper makes a treasure and gives you some life back. And I got an Owlbear. Owlbears are sweet. Draw you a card. And then this black green legend that cares about things dying. So let's flip back a bit. Just to go over what we have. So I think the first build I'm going to check out is black green, because that's where a bunch of our rares are, and that one uncommon that's pretty good. So we definitely want the Vorpal Sword in. We definitely want these small guys in. We definitely want these tools to go with that. We want Precipitous Drop as removal. This guy doesn't seem great, but this is a 3 mana thing that's probably fine. There's some skeletons in there. The Drider. I think I like the Drider better than Herald of Hadar, so hold off on that. And I like the Zombie Ogres better too. You just can't have too many expensive cards. I'll definitely put Asmodeus in, put a Beholder in the Eyes of the Beholder in for now. And we'll go check out our green. So if we are playing some expensive spells, we can put in a Dryads. We've got a Null Hunter, Innkeeper. I think this is probably pretty good in Best of One. Lets you destroy artifacts, enchantments, or just get a treasure token and venture into the dungeon. Which again, if we don't have sideboarding, these kinds of flexible cards go up. But also, there's a nostalgia of stealing that thing's eye. We've got some Lurking Ropers, which are interesting. That they untap when you gain life. So we'll have to see how many things gain me life. I'm gonna put them in for now. Definitely Owlbear. I feel like we gotta try the Tarrasque. And this thing. Rope that you venture into the dungeon. That sounds pretty good. Plus some other utility stuff. Spike traps, more removal. So let's see. Got a bunch of ones, twos, threes, and then the curve goes way up. So when you look at it, so like an equipment, like you'll probably play Vorpal Sword on turn one, but it's not like you'll necessarily do anything with it for a while, so can't really count it as a one drop. These guys you want to sacrifice onto anyway. And the rope is probably going to need a bunch of mana to be able to do anything. And the Spike Pit Trap costs 5 to activate, so that really is like more of a 5 up here. Call the rope like a 4. And then you also want to be playing creatures to add multiple stages. So let's take a look at some things here. So as I was saying, the Roper depends on gaining life. So what do I have that can gain life? I've got this Prosperous Innkeeper, so that's a pretty decent combo. Vampire Spawn. None of these guys, so those probably aren't going to be great. Although, I guess it is 3 mana for a 4 or 5 blocker that can attack once. What are some other options here? So I could look at green, red. Sorry, black, red. as much as playing the Duress does sound pretty appealing. So we do have a number of equipment, so this guy that gets Menace with equipment doesn't sound too bad. Dragon's Fire. This Goblin Morningstar I like. It either comes with a Goblin or it comes with a Goblin already holding the Morningstar. There's the Hobgoblin Captain. This makes some Goblins. There's the old Wild Mage, which that can have some fun applications. I mean, I feel like I have to try that. Swarming Goblins make more Goblins, but I don't actually have anything that gives a bonus to Goblins. I just have a number of things that make Goblins. And then I think I have better 6-mana plays than that. I think I'm liking this better. It gives me a bit more to do early on. Kind of fits better with the overall strategy of my good black cards. So one thing to keep an eye out is we've got the Asmodeus the Archfiend, and again, as I said, you really kind of want to be able to sacrifice him because he's got the drawback where you have to end up paying life to be able to get cards in your hand. But if you can find a way to activate the draw 7 cards and get rid of him before that ability resolves, then you just got a bunch of cards in exchange for taking care of Asmodeus. So I might actually run this Deadly Dispute because that's a way to sacrifice him. Let's see what else. There's also this thing that returns a card. You can also see, so we got 14 creatures, which is about where you want to be. 13, 14, 15, I think is all pretty good. Oh, definitely want this Lightfoot Rogue. Missed that before. And as far as ways to kill creatures that my opponent has, I've got this Dragon's Fire, Precipitous Drop. That's sort of a weird, expensive way to do it. This Pit Trap if I run it. And Eyes of the Beholder. So not a lot of ways to remove creatures, but I've definitely had worse. Especially if I'm able to kind of run over my opponent. So let's take a look at things that aren't removal and aren't creatures. So this is basically a creature, that's a creature. The rope, so on. So let's get rid of the rope because we're trying to get down to 40 cards here. Yeah, I do like the Baleful Beholder for flexibility and aggressiveness. I think I probably only want to run the one alongside Asmodeus. I could be wrong. Sealed does tend to be a bit slower than Draft, so it might give me plenty of time to play a bunch of Beholders. But I've also got like Eyes of the Beholder that's expensive, and even equipment. Like Vorpal Sword. If I can dump 8 mana into it, that it's not the worst either. So looking at these Thieves tools, and I think they're going to be pretty good in my deck. So this thing makes treasures when I hit an opponent. What else cares about that? It's the Vorpal Sword, obviously, if I have a ton of mana. Drider, although the Thieves tools say that a creature can't be blocked as long as its power is 3 or less, and the Drider doesn't quite qualify there. I think one of the only problems is I'm kind of missing some 3-cost plays here. Although if I have stuff that can get me treasure, I might be able to jump from 2s to 4s, which would be nice. I'm not rolling a lot of dice, so Barbarian class isn't that good. Don't think this is worth a card for just to get some little boost in some haste. Let's actually think about another zombie ogre here. This is a little better if I have more removal to kill off opponent's stuff, but I think there will be ways to get that done. And anything... Yeah, so like I was saying earlier with Wish, it does get anything from my sideboard, but I don't know that I have anything in my sideboard that is that situational. You know, there might be some okay things that I could grab. Actually, like, it's actually not unreasonable if, I have an extra Beholder in my sideboard to use Wish. But I think I'm going to try this without that. I still need to cut a few cards. Let's move all my non-creature stuff over here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2-drops. Well, if I want to be pretty aggressive, that's not the worst, but I don't know how good that is. So I think maybe this Armory Veteran's my worst of those. These 3s I want, these 4s I want. I think the higher end stuff I want if I'm running this many. Could consider cutting a land if I'm going to be fast and aggressive and make a bunch of treasure. It's the kind of thing I would probably make later on in the format when I understand how fast and how good things are. But just this, I want to hit my lands. So let's go down to one Horde Robber. So we got a Hexblade, which wants treasure. This, which works good with the Thieves' Tools. Life Rogue is hard to block and will pretty much always trade off with something when it attacks if it gets blocked, which is good with the Ogre. Actually, maybe I don't want Armory Veteran. That might be the other cut. The Morningstar is good. Hobgoblin Captain good. This is flexible between make some Gobos or give everything a bonus. Vampire spawns, fine, it's 3 mana. Yep. So let's swap that back out. Horde Robber. One final check. Yeah, let's give that a shot. So I'm gonna double check Arena's automatic mana thing. So I'm way heavier on black than red. And I have 10, effectively 10 swamps, 9 plus an evolving wild to go get it. 7 red, only some of which I need early. This is a new thing. This little widget there. Let's go up because it is like way more black than I have red. Just like that. All right, let's give that a shot. It's my first time giving this a try. And it is the Elephant Mirror Match. Which elephant will win? So, hand's not great. So I don't have any of my twos to do, but I don't think it's worth going down a card on the mulligan. So if this one dorky vampire guy will get the job done. And I guess I'm playing Evolving Wilds. Well, because it is basically comes in tapped. Actually, I don't have anything that needs double red, so I've already got a mountain in my hand. I'll get a swamp. Hello, hello, Dr. Feldegriff, whoever you might be. I definitely don't know who you are, and have no way to find out. I think this guy's good due to lifelink for 2. This card's also good. Gain a life, draw a card. Oh, there's a Vorpal Sword. That's the worst there. So we'll play this guy and hopefully hold off the 2 attackers. They're going to do some dungeoning. Definitely don't know Scott. Total mystery about people in stream. Yeah, I imagine this choosing what dungeon to go into is going to be difficult to figure out for a while. So it is the Tomb of Annihilation, which is the quick one, but kind of painful for them, but gets them to the Atropole quicker. Alright, so here's a Vorpal Sword. Let's equip that to this guy, and then because they have so many dudes, I will hold back. And then I can think next turn. Oop, got a torch. This one's just the lowest number of steps, is what I mean. I don't know if it's, the right move or not. Okay. So I will not discard a card. I will take 2. This thing's 4/3. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and block. At least force them to re-equip. Let's do a zombie ogre here because it's got big butts. Then we'll see what they do here. Yep. This next one is lose 2 life or sacrifice. I'll just lose some more life. Yep. And I decline. Block with that ogre booty. See if they got a thing. They have a thing. Alright, so what are my options here? I could kill a thing and then only have 3 mana left, which doesn't really do anything. Play the Drider, which doesn't block it, so... Hey, opponent, sacrifice an enchantment. Oh, you didn't have one. Well, it's still a Beholder, darn it. Plate Mail, that card seems good. Yeah. They're gonna get the Atropole. And I think I gotta take 7 here. Okay, so I'm gonna do equip this up and then kill a thing, or I could just make some goblins. Don't actually know what the right move is, so assuming they have nothing, I block. I can double block with goblins there, or just jump. I think it's safest. Just leave up the goblin thing here. So that is an instant. Yeah, pretty good Atropole. Yep. They attack. They do some more dungeon delving. And I befriend the goblins. Please go throw yourself in front of the undead god fetus for me. So let's just trade there and jump there, which that means it'll give me something to equip to the goblin next round, and I can kill this thing off. Taking 2. And they got a flyer. It's not great, and it's out of range of this pit trap card, which I don't love either. Am I dead? So I can shrink the planner ally. Oh no, wait. Drider has reach. Fortunately, I don't have enough mana to play this Drider and also equip the sword. Yeah, I'm in some pretty big trouble. Surprise, there's a pit trap that I can't actually do anything with. Normally I'd wait for this dungeon thing to resolve first so it doesn't change their decisions, but you got it, I discard a thing. Oh, they're venturing twice. Sweet. Just get rid of a swamp here. Again, I don't think this matters because I have to throw away my whole set of creatures here. But, see another card anyway. Hey, it's a mountain. No, thank you. Alrighty. So, Undead God Fetus, pretty good against my deck there. Let's put this Asmodeus as my face my deck. It's very important. That is why I lost that first game. If Asmodeus had been given the proper respect he deserves, then everything would have been different, obviously. Versus Release the Kraken. 2 mountains, which I have, 5 or 6, and mostly black cards. I think I gotta send this one back. This one's better. Surprise, pit trap. It made a pit trap sound effect. Alright, Goblin Morningstar. Hook me up. Nope. Not so much. It's 2-1. Let's cancel that for a minute. Okay. And play the Vorpal Sword. So this goblin's going to be dual wielding a Morningstar and a Vorpal Sword if I don't draw any lands. Or another castable. First strike, Rust Monster. That's cheating. And I did not draw any lands. Alrighty. Fortunately, this Rust Monster does not eat my stuff. Only their own stuff. It's, oh, Flame Skull. Still no lands. I'm gonna get treasure, but play this guy out anyway. So would be nice to get out these skeletons. But again, need some lands. This Flame Skull is very tough to deal with. Alrighty. Step one of the plan, at least. Alright. No attacks. Goblin Morningstar gives +1, +0, and trample. It's actually kind of it's combo with Death Touch. I mean, could just throw everything on these clattering skeletons. Although I'm at 12 and this, Flame Skull's kind of killing me. And that's another thing that can speed up that clock there. So, options. Attack with the clattering skeletons. They block, then Zombie Ogre's good. Yeah, I kind of like that because don't think I can stand the defense here. So I could play the Wild Mage, but it also doesn't attack into that Rust Monster particularly well. So let's play the Zombie Ogre. Gives me a decent blocker on the ground. Can equip some stuff up to these skeletons. Maybe pressure them a little bit more. Yeah, pit trapping the Rust Monster is another possibility here, but they can, yeah, they got this combo, so they can sacrifice whatever to this guy to give it a bonus. So it makes my attacks a lot worse there too. They could also like loop this Flame Skull, although I think they'd rather just hit me with it. Not now, Asmodeus. Right, so let's go ahead, equip this up. Now, do I want to give it trample? The other part of the problem here is they could just sacrifice a treasure. Yeah, none of this is great. Just gonna equip up this turn, not attack, and then try and leave up Pit Trap next round. It's another one where I feel pretty far behind the curve. So this sealed match might be a quick 0-3, and then we'll build again. Yep, it's a Drider. Okay. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Yep. Pass priority to you. This does mean I hit for 7. And I venture. Alright, my first time doing this, so... Might just want to gain 1 life here and then scry 1 and do some of this other stuff. Wouldn't hate the one that puts me on the path to a 1-1 either. Let's go into the Mad Mage, shall we? Yep. Okay. Last card being a removal spell. That probably kills me. Come on, opponent. Yeah, there you go. If you just attack with everything, I die. So... Alright. 1 more shot to get any number of wins with my Vorpal Sword Asmodeus deck. Okay, it's got my sword, it's got my Hexblade, some other good cards there. Exactly, man. This is for blockers, especially when your opponent is very easily dead on board. Vorpal Sword. This wizard class is pretty good. No maximum hand size and drawing 2 cards and then buffing your creatures. Pretty solid. Yeah, so they might just level up. Yep. Draw 2, in which case I believe I went to apply maximum pressure. Let's get this Vorpal Sword on. And slam. Next turn, got Chatters, maybe follow up with a Zombie Ogre. Yep. Flan, Delver, get their Scry on. Get a Goblin, get a Treasure, some stuff, draw a card. My guess is that they would block here because they have so many cards they want to just preserve their life total, but you never know. Yep, there we go. Pow. And some clattering. That's a good one. Let's get in with these skeletons. Play this ogre. Have some good attacks next round. If they want to Planetary Ally over me, then I can do some good stomping. Which they're doing. You have a goblin. It makes goblin noises. What else you got, opponent? Yup. It's good draw 2. Let's just go slamming. Yep, happy to get these guys out of the way. Them for 5, they gain a little bit of life back. But now it is my turn to dungeon. And I think I want... So I want to keep pressuring them, and this is the one that pressures resources. So we'll do that. I'll do it again. I'll do this life one. Good old Tomb of Annihilation. Making a bigger angel. It's pretty good. Fortunately, I have a removal spell. I have a death touch guy. That's good. Okay. Make some goblins at instant speed. Let's clear that. Actually, I should use the pit trap. Oops. And then they have to do that or they die. I think I'm just gonna get rid of swamp here. And then I've got a bunch of stuff out that potentially kill them. And I just need to activate the pit trap, and they will die. Wabam. 17 on my pit trap check. Alright, got one under my belt for that 3-color wizard, flying stuff dungeon, etc. deck. Let's see how far we can go after 2 losses. So, not a shutout. I've set the bar. Sand looks good as well, so got my trusty Vorpal Sword wherever I go, and then this makes treasure tokens. Just help me play some other stuff. A Ranger's Hawk, which taps to... You have to tap another creature to venture. Still seems decent. So a little awkward here having my 1 tap land. Just to get my 2nd black to equip. Might have to take a turn off. We'll see. Alright. Horde Robber. It's also a non-zero chance that I just kill this bird off while I've got this equipment stuff going. Oh, that's good too. Let's see. I attack, I make a treasure, play a land, can play this and equip, or I can just play land, kill this. Go with the slower play here. Oh, nope. Never mind, I screwed it up. That's alright. Treasure for next round is good, and I can still play this big trap. Forgot that this doesn't actually help me equip either. They're gonna keep having this Ranger's Hawk with a torch in its mouth, I guess, exploring this dungeon. Whatever works, I guess. So this card is, yeah. So you don't know what it's going to do until you attack. They're going to put my rogue to sleep anyway. They're very afraid of it. It's not bad either. So let's equip. Get in. Yep. Goodbye, goblin. Play my own goblin. Haha, he wakes up carrying it. Play this to get a swamp. Look, those Rangers Hawks are serious business. They go through a lot of training. It's like the same amount of training they get from those birds in medieval times. The ability to recruit goblins and raid storerooms. That's the end here. And find a card in the Temple of Dumathian. It's some pretty good stuff. Loyal Warhound. Which do not control more lands. So it's a 3/1 vigilance. Alright. Get a swamp. It's not bad either. Let's go ahead and do the drop thing here. We are racing a bit, although I think this one's going to be best. Set up my draw for next round. Don't need that. And get in with this guy. So with the +1/+1 counter, now I have to worry about this hawk. Guild Thief. Huh. I can pay 4 mana. Yeah, that's a thing. Alright, so let's play some skeletons. Yeah, no way they were blocking there. This Delver's Torch getting to venture all the time is better than I thought. Taking 4. Alright. Well, I got something to get rid of. To just throw away with this rogue. Let's start there, shall we? It's my super overpriced removal spell. I wonder if my hope in this game... Well, first of all, I have to not die this turn. But to activate the Vorpal Sword, let's see. Do I have a way to not die? There might be no. Yeah, let's just back that one up. Let's go on to the next thing. Enough of this. So, cheap removal looks to be pretty important. Some good losing to flyers with equipment and whatnot. So let's try that again. Alrighty. Okay, we got Ebon Death, the Dracolich. Flying Flash. Creatures die, I can recast it. That's pretty good. I got a Gold Dragon that's just big and beefy and flying and awesome. I got a Sphere of Annihilation, which is a very slow board wipe, caster for X, and then eats everything. Don't know about treasure chest. Zalto is kind of interesting when he's dealt damage. You venture and he's a 7/3 trample. And then Minion of the Mighty, I do have 2 dragons right here. When he attacks with enough, you can just cheat out a dragon into play. Alrighty, so switch back views here. Got the Cleric class, which I like, especially with a bunch of life gain. And the Unicorn goes with that. Minimus Containment is a removal spell. Got Plate Armor to make things beefy. Planar Ally was pretty good for my opponents there. Warlock class, which you want things to die, you get some cards, and hurts the opponents. Power Word Kill, good removal spell. Beholder, board wipe, yeah. Black's looking pretty good. Burning Hand's another removal spell. Battle Cried Goblin, which I could have used in the last one with all my different goblin things. Dragon's Fire, another good removal. Definitely liking this set better. Chaos Channeler. Some cards you have to cast that turn. There's a Gold Dragon. Bruenor Battlehammer. Works with equipment. Dungeon map I like. Ramp Shoe in. Gives you some free explore. Armor's fine. Let's try Black Red again, but probably going to try and splash that Gold Dragon. So we'll take Raven Feeblement, Warlock class, Powered Kill definitely, some of these guys, this thing, of course that, Beholder theme package. Don't know about that, but I might with the Battlecry Goblin. Get a Minion of the Mighty. This stuff. This guy makes treasure tokens. Those are good. Pumps team. Chaos Channeler. Works the treasures. Some more goblin stuff. This is all too. There's that dragon. Let's see where we're at here. Not bad overall. Alright, so Battlecry Goblin, if I attack with a bunch of stuff, makes a goblin. So I'm kind of want to go wide here. It's like the Valor Singer makes my creatures attack better. I want things to die so I can get Ebon Death. This Jaded Sellsword works with treasure. Swarming Goblins makes goblins. Alright, so this thing again where I look at spells. Sphere of Annihilation this might be the wrong deck for it. You never know. Alright, much cheaper, much better removal here. Plus some decent flyers on my own. What else should I consider? So I'm splashing the Adult Gold Dragon. I could splash this Minimus Containment. Turns the thing into a treasure. It's not a terrible idea. This thing, when it dies, makes treasure. Yeah, this seems a little bit all in aggro to me, but also have like no ones and twos here. So maybe that's what I want to do. What about our dice rolling? Because this guy works with dice rolling. I've got a chaos channeler. Hand of list. Let's I put some of these guys in. I think I like all my fours better right now. Dungeon map, if I put that in, makes it easier to cast these higher end things. Hmm. Or put those guys in. Definitely take Sphere out in that case. Put that guy in. How highly do I value treasure? This guy, and plus it helps splash stuff. Look, the Boo the hamster token is Deadly Warrior, so especially when he grows to giant hamster size, it totally makes sense. Yeah, part of the problem with Sphere plus Draco Lich is that it's not a bad idea, but Sphere exiles creatures from the board and also creatures in graveyards, so it might exile it when I'm trying to get it back. So I don't really have any much in the way of equipment and don't really want to run these leather armors. Sadly, not much else in the way of 2 drops. Another option, take out these Javelineers, put the gas, and then like ways to sacrifice them. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a pretty decent hasty beatdown kind of thing going on here. I don't know if this minion's actually going to be good, but I want to try it with my 2 rare dragons, so give that a shot. Man, this dwarf is bad in my deck, but I needed to. So if we go that way, I think I'm going to take out, even though it's a removal spell, take out Eyes of the Beholder. Maybe I want discard. Discard 2 cards, mill 2 cards, lose 2 life. Might be the way to go here. It's true. Could have some equipment to beef up the kobold. Boots of Speed I don't really like. It's just too low impact. My best equipment's in white, and if I want to splash for that. And this pumps up toughness because it's leather armor. Yeah, thinking something along these lines. Yeah, just gotta cut a few cards. Zalto's kind of funny with the kobold. Man, this dwarf is just too bad, I think. I think I cut one of the beholders. So it keeps my curve lower. Yeah. So red primary. I don't need 2 planes because I've got treasure makers plus evolving wilds. Let's cut up plains, go up a mountain. Do have some double black stuff, so gonna do too far. The white equipment, the plate armor. I do like it, but I don't know about splashing it. I think it's a little too awkward. I do think it's a good card. The other thing I could do, and I do want to play Ebon Death, but I could try a pure red-white build, which gets me some more equipment. You know what? Why don't we take a look? I think I can recreate this pretty quickly. So we get Bruner in here. Maybe Cleric. That Hawk was good last game for sure. This guy cares about equipment. Thing's fine. This. Probably that. Do I have stuff that actually gains life regularly? Nope. I've got a few treasure makers, like I've got the Plundering Barbarian. Maybe just that. I don't really want to play these potions of healing just for life gain synergies, which some of these cards really need. Yeah, definitely don't like that as much. As much as I do like those two white equipment cards. So I want these Javelineers. Or do I want Shambling Gas, which would be a way to make treasure, kind of, sort of. See, dude. Yeah, let's try this. Red, black, B-Town, splashing a good dragon. Yeah, Battle Cry, Goblin on 2, and then something on 3. I dig it. Maybe you can even get to Pack Tactics. That'd be pretty sweet. I got something over there. I heard Hexblade already. Let's play the Barbarian so I can make a treasure so I can get down Ebon Death. Or these Swarming Goblins, I guess. Both aren't terrible options. Oh, don't have to use my treasure after all. Oh, it's got flash as well. That's neat. Alright, so... I think I'm just gonna pass here and flash out Ebon Death. With them not using any mana on their turn and clearly having stuff to do. So maybe they'll spend a removal spell on the Battle Cry Goblin, or doesn't matter. Nope. Just pass on their turn. Surprise. Ebondeath the Dracolich. Got a thing. Oh, not yet. Alright, now... Let me get the attack trigger here, which is nice. If they kill it and something else, I can just recast it. Otherwise, get some more goblins on. I could have pumped up that goblin to trade there, but I think I just want to throw these guys out. Goblins. 2 tokens, not too bad. Good luck with that spike pit trap. Alrighty. Chalk one up to the Dracolich. Not too shabby. This barbarian seemed good, better than the other thing. Yep. Let's play the Javelineer. Or play Warlock on 2. Let's get aggro. Next turn can level up, get a thing, or just play my 3-drop, depending on what they do. Thanks everybody for hanging out, me giving this a try. Alright, that is 1-3, the Treasure Maker. Let's just play this. Pass. The next round, I can potentially do level up plus removal spell. Draw Mountain, maybe just play the Chaos Magic Channeler instead. That's part of why I wasn't big on this Goblin Javelineer card, is because they just get to block it here. To draw the mountain. Let's take a look. All spells. I think I like this Valor Singer here. Then I think I pass. Valor Singer, combat on my turn, buffs all my stuff up. So then, makes some potential attacks better. Alright, you got a thing. This is combat damage to player venture into the dungeon. Nothing, huh? Just wanted to get your treasure on. What do you got? Hobgoblin Captain, alright. And another Hobgoblin Captain. Guess I kill one of those. So they can't attack with 6 power next round, but... Let's play this Chaos Channeler. So this is when it attacks, I get to exile some number of cards from the top of my library, and I can play this turn. And because Wizards does this silly thing of sometimes it's you may play it this turn, which means you can play a land or cast a spell off of it, versus when it says you may cast it this turn. This one will let me play lands, which is good. Ooh, that's good too. Alright, so in that case, we're going to play this Valor Singer. We're going to go to combat. It's going to give one of my dudes a bonus. I'm going to get in and roll poorly, exile my Minion of the Mighty, which also doesn't seem that great. What are you going to do? And I might let it go. If they do some sort of like double block situation that I can blow out with Power Word Kill, or if it's just a fine set of trades, I'll probably play the Minion. Like this might be okay. Those kill each other. Sure. Let that happen. And I'll play this Minion of the Mighty. Ooh, and Warlock my opponent a little bit. More Barbarians. They're going to use all this treasure to play some ridiculous thing. Alright, just go ahead and play this. And we won't attack. If I draw another land, then you can get to this Warlock class. I don't think any of this is worth Power Word killing. Hoo-hoo, hello. That's pretty sweet. So now we will hold off for next turn. Try and get this guy in with Power Word Kill to maybe stop it from getting blown up. Oh, I can also maybe do the Warlock class thing. Down with that. Alright, so let's do that. And attack with these things that have power to attack. And if for whatever reason they just took a bunch of this, which looks like maybe what they'll do, I might just activate the Warlock class. Alright, kill that guy. You got a kill spell for my dude? You sure do. So then let's do that. Slam, slam. So for now, at least, I've got the better board and this Warlock class ready to fire. And they're all fits. Alrighty. Let's keep going. With black, red, dragon, kobold, goblin, etc. deck. There's my one plains in the deck. There's my minion of the mighty with no dragon. But one land gets me plundering barbarian, which gets me a treasure. This is not a great keep, but we're gonna do it. See you, dude. Thanks for watching. Never didn't have it. Alright, so now play this drain thing or we play the treasure guy. Let's play treasure guy. Get my clattering on. If you break my treasure, I swear to God. No! No! How dare you? You broke my treasure that I didn't really need all that much anyway. Smash. Saw this barbarian on barbarian violence. Anyway, clattering skeletons. It's just, see, they're just copying me now. Okay, so that's interesting. So I might actually get this thing to go off here. No attack, cause no blocks on your Mr. Clatters. Clatters me, Clatterton. I play a thing. Let's just do it. Powered kill. Oh no, it's a dragon creature. Apparently that doesn't work. Well, we're gonna do it anyway. Throw away this vampire spawn to put this lich into play. And then just play another vampire spawn. Whoa. Could use another swamp in case I need to recur Ebb and Death, but it's neither here nor there. Alright, well, go for this. Okay, they get to sack their dude, but they still are down a blocker. Ah, gain 1 life, yep. They make a treasure. That's nice. And slam. How about you take 8 exactly? AKA your life total. Uh-huh. Just realized my stream title was from earlier. Let's do that. All right. 3 wins, 0 losses. Let's keep it going, he says. Definitely jinxing himself. Alrighty. Got my battle cry. Got some burning hands. Some 4 drops. It's decent. Being on the play again, always nice, especially with this kind of deck. Ooh, Trickster's Talisman. When an equipped creature deals combat damage, you can sacrifice it to make a copy of the creature. It's pretty sweet. I don't know how effective in play it's going to end up being, but I like the idea. Sure. Hit for 3. Oh, and they've got green, which means it's Burning Hands. It's gonna light some stuff on fire. Like that thing. Or I'm just gonna play Lich. Or some, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I care that much if they make a duplicate here. Yeah, let's go for the Lich play. Dracolich play, I should say. Of course, they do get in hit for 5 because this does give +1/+1. Although, maybe they won't because I can bump this up. Ooh, Eccentric Apprentice. Enters the battlefield, venture into a dungeon, and then later, if they've completed a dungeon, a thing becomes a bird. That's pretty sweet. Also, it blocks my Dracolich. Except that I'll probably Burning Hands it. They are flan delving. Trying to get to that delicious flan. Whoop-bam, Dracolich. Five in the air. This guy. Drain him out. Keep it going. Are you saying my Dracolich is a jerk, or that eccentric apprentice? Oh no! My Dracolich fell asleep. It shouldn't be possible. And yet here we are. One of the many mysteries of the D&D world. The Bluebird Maker. Yeah. It's just so darn eccentric. Let's play Mr. Skeleton and then pass, and then maybe get in some action next round. This guy. Okay. Must be blocked. Well, I think I was gonna do that anyway. Am I wrong? Oh. They just have a whole bunch of those things. Okay. Alright, it's gonna make me do that and then that. So if there's the wrong blocks, because... No, it's probably not gonna matter. Six stuff, no, yeah. Don't think it matters. I venture. Which one gives me a board potentially? Oh, this is the one that drains and stuff. Yeah, we'll do that. And And from all that, they went empty-handed, so... They can make a copy of the no launcher. They're in the who top decks better mode. Hint, so far it's not me. Plus side is they are at 9, so... Two life. Fine. Would you like an extra one of these guys? The answer is no. Okay. I am losing the top deck battles by a bunch of lands. And they are gaining 2 life a turn. Just not cool. Don't know if I have anything to sacrifice this in this deck. Haha, alrighty. Oh, and they did make a duplicate the turn that it was probably the wrong thing to do. Fine. Yes, yes. Gain some more life. Take a bit more damage. Replay my dude. This guy makes a bunch of mana. Oh, okay. So what's the next? Lose 2 life unless they discard a card, which has ended up being... Oh, wait. Discard a card to sacrifice a creature, an artifact, or a land. Okay. We're gonna do it. They're just gonna take 10. Alright. That's cool. Froghemoth. Come on. Well, this one I'm gonna lose now. Let's see. 6-10. Yeah, it's fine. Exile my graveyard. Yes. That would have been useful a while ago, but it's gonna be it. That would have been cool though to be able to do that one dungeon shortcut and sacrifice my Dracolich and replay, but I drew a bunch of lands. They drew a Froghemoth, and we move on. Mr. Bro C. Got my Goblin, got some Burning Hands, got a Jaded Steel Sword. What else do you need in life? I mean, lands, I guess, as well. But other than those things, What do you need? They found a cursed idol. They stole its eyes. What kind of adventurers on the cover of a number of books would do such a thing? And then use it to enter the lost mine of starter kits. Alright, so nope, not that one. Valor Singer. Bardic Inspiration. Slam. Got a Tiefling Bard. We got a Gobbo. They got nothing. Hit for 5. Play the Sellsword. That is pretty fun. Just in the nick of time, winning. It's not fun to get my dude countered, but at the same time, my board's pretty good. Probably gonna gain some life. Burning Hands. Boom. Boom. And then play the Minion of the Mighty, which has not been good as I expected. But it's fine. Alright. But hey, he's a 1-1 menace now. Let's see, this is doing 6. Seems good. Now I'm gonna smash your treasure. Ha ha ha. Take that. Yeah. I mean, I have them dead, but smashing their treasure with a rampaging barbarian is just that extra, chef's kiss kind of thing. It's the barbarian icing on a treasure cake. Like the classic saying. Oh no, it's a witch. Lowercase. Got some goblin ears. I got Dragon's Fire with Heaven Death. There's a lot of ways this hand could go wrong, especially based on whatever my opponent's playing, but we're doing it. So Dragon's Fire means if I reveal this, I deal 5 instead. Which that's kind of sweet. Instead, I'm just going to deal 3 to this. 1-3, so I can keep getting in there. I don't love it, but, you know. So this deals 1 damage to target creature blocking it, so they can't actually block there. And then I'm going to do this and get rid of 2 of these cards in their hands, make them lose 2 life. Seems pretty good to me. Out of there for. Took away Big Elemental, card draw spell, and Plains. Oop. And then flash in the Dracolich. Slam. They have that guy who's very good. Alrighty. Don't mind that either. Alright. Put them to 10. They're going to start venturing, but we're going to play Warlock class, Barbarian, and I'm going to smash that Pit Trap good. So that it's harder for them to deal with my Dracolich. Which, you know, is a recursive threat anyway. Yep. Get your venture on. So we don't draw land, probably Javelineer and take a peek with Warlock class. See what they play though. Yep, 3/3 guy. Do have to be a little careful now that I'm at 13. But, you know, I'm playing black-red goblins. Don't know how much that leads to caring about life totals. Alright, let's get with the Dracolich and see if they want to trade. They do. So let's just replay it. Play another Javelineer. Drain for 1 because of Warlock. Ooh. Okay. Did not expect them to go attacking here. This could be... Alright. Sure. I mean... It still seems like you're in bad shape. Let's go ahead. Oh no, I can't. It keeps messing me up. So if they hit me for 5 in the air, this thing can put a counter and drain. Probably just safest to do this and go through a lot of lands apparently. Just kill this guy, so I drain them for another one. And they need to really top deck here to get out of this. They can make a thing. Wow, still getting in there. Both things. Oh no, they can't because they're in the goblin side, so they can get a counter. They drain. All right. Okay, I'm gonna So if they don't block anything, fire up the last thing of the Warlock class. Okay. They have chosen to die. I was gonna say, if they trade with the 2/2 and hit me back for 4, potentially, I could have died there, depending on what they drew. I would have played the, my Giant Dude, who isn't a great card, but has been pretty fun so far. Wouldn't mind some other, ways to buff him up, or, you know, make a flying guy. This is a lot of lands, but, Plundering Barbarian into Jaded Sellsword. That sounds like my idea of a party. It's a party. See what I did there? Because it's D&D. Yeah, I agree, Chris, that the dungeon crawling part of it is actually kind of a higher strategic kind of move. Some neat stuff going on. Also, there's the Hand of Vecna. Ah. Wow. I might just die to the Hand of Vecna. Let's see. So what I think I want to do... I'm going to pay this with treasure. Give it haste. Play this Goblineer. Get it with these two. Plan on jump blocking. Yep. Okay. So now, again with the 2/2, if they want to trade that off the Basilisk. They do. It's fine. Vampire Spawn. We might be in for the classic. Alright. They play like one creature. So I'm just going to take this here, because I can hit them for 6 this turn. Oh, that's good too. Let's just do that now, before we go any further. Now they've got to put out 2 blockers, or something along those lines. Ooh, is this... Yeah. Alright. I was able to race the Hand of Vecna. Turns out it hurts when you chop your own hand off. Yeah, I don't know if they had any other choice but to just go aggro with it there, but not sure that was the best setup for them. Raven Enfeeblement, good against white creatures. Okay. It's weird. Dragon Queen, tap land thing. Get in there and make my opponent draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Which they didn't have any plays on. Ooh, wow. On 1 or 2. They discarded 2 possibly castable spells. Alright. So here we pass. And then bring my Dracolich All-Star in. Wha-bam. Slam on in. Cell sword. And then might be able to set some good stuff up with this Raven Feeblement. It's also, there's like, alright, can't do anything about that. Natural 20! That hardly seems fair. So if I do this, it becomes 0 to... That's fine. And they're off it. It was actually a mistake on my part because I forgot I didn't have a second red to be able to trade. And there we go, 7 wins. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on this test stream / video to crack into Forgotten Realms. If there's interest, I'll do some more of these. And yeah, I'm going to go tend to my complaining dogs. So thanks for joining me.